This is the second part of the tutorial that goes with workshop number 2. The previous tutorial ended with how to compute frequencies based on the data sheet that you created in workshop 1. So in this workshop, I'm going to show you how to compute relative frequencies. Relative frequency is really just a percentage of the frequency, of the numerical frequency, and it's an expression, right, of the frequency divided by the total. It doesn't say total here, I'm doing this, writing it down, just to make this complete here. So the relative frequency really is a percentage, or expressed as percentages. And Excel luckily has some wonderful functions, and once you know the formulas, it computes things almost automatically. But you have to kind of know a few things. So one thing is you have to tell Excel if you want to display numbers in percentages or in real numbers or whatever it is, right? So in order to tell Excel to compute numbers in percentages, I highlight the cells I want to be displayed in percentages, and I right-click them, and I get this drop-down menu, and here I click on Format Cells, and rather than General, I hit percentages. And in my case, I don't want decimal places. If you want them, you can tell Excel how many decimal places you wish to be displayed, and I hit OK. After this now, I want to again give Excel a formula it understands, and I want to practically divide 8 by 20, right? So 8 is in the cell B2, and this is really like playing chess for those of you who have played chess before. Divided by, and now Excel, because we are going to use that drop-down function again, which we used in tutorial 1 in order to fill out all the participants. It makes life just easier, especially when you have more data. I put the $ in front of the B of cell B8 and then after the B, and now tell Excel, oh, it's not B8, it's B7, divide this by 20. 20 is in cell B7. Here it tells me this is the cell you want, yes, and you hit enter. And now, because I used that formula and I put the B in between $, I can again use this wonderful drag function, and it just computes everything for me. Now, here as a total frequency, again, you always want to check if what you did was correct. It should come out to 100%. And you again ask Excel to compute the sum. And here, right, you want to have the sum from, this is a C, little text field here, column C2 through C6, right? So please add up C2 through C6, and it gives me 100. If you want to do cumulative frequencies, you can do this as well. Cumulative frequencies just add up all the frequencies. So my first then is frequency is just a B2 because it's the same number as here. And then I want Excel to add up, I just want Excel to add up this number with this number, right? 8 plus 4, and then the next thing I wanted to do is I want let me just maybe do this, right? Put it in here, so 8 plus 4, how would you tell Excel? You would say, please add up D2, right? This field here, plus, 3 3, this field here, and it gives me 12. 8 plus 4 equals 12. Now, next step, I want Excel to compute 12 plus 1 should be 13, right? But because I use the formula, I can again use that drag down menu and it knows what to do. It gives me a 13. 13 plus 3 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. And so for the total should be actually this number or this number. It doesn't really matter. Usually I think it makes more sense to have the last number being the total. So your textbook, however, suggests make cell D7 the total number. Oops, I did something. Sorry. Make it equal to B7. So the total is 20, total is 20, total is 100%, and you have all your frequencies. Okay, so now you can move on to the next step, which is creating a bar chart. In order to create a bar chart, you want to highlight the frequencies that should be part of your bar chart, and then you want to click on Insert. I show you how you do that. What's important is that before you do this, you should kind of think about, well, for a bar chart, what type of frequencies I want to use. Typically, you use those numerical real number frequencies here, and I highlight all the parts I want to have part of this bar chart. I click on Insert. This is where I find the charts, and bar charts are called column charts in Excel. I'm not really sure why, but it's actually a bar chart, and I just hover over this very first type here, and it already offers me a chart, which I think looks pretty good. I left click on it, and I have my chart. You always want to make sure to title your charts. I like to give them, the name of the column of the survey questions, right? So I know this question of this bar chart refers to, do you put your baby to sleep with milk, right? Although I've played with all those numbers and answers, I still can track them back to the original question and to what this actually meant. So it's always important to keep track. And because I highlighted the response options, Excel then also uses those response options to display every bar chart. And you can see here it's a very nice visual representation that immediately shows you what type of answer was given the most, right? And it was given twice as often as any other response. It was given twice as often as the answer often or never, and the response always was given 8 times more than occasionally. So you can look at all those different kind of relationships between those bar charts, and it just really makes intuitive sense, right? Okay, so now let's move on doing a pie chart. I'm just going to go to my next already prepared frequency table. I'm using the same question here. You should use a different survey question for each chart. I think it just makes more sense. But let's say I want to do a pie chart, and with pie charts it makes more sense to display relative frequency. So I highlight both the relative frequencies I want to display and the response options again. In order to highlight both, I have to keep Control pushed, the button Control, so I can highlight different things. You probably know this. I again go to Insert, and here is my little pie chart button. You go to 2D pie charts, and you get several options here. I kind of like an option like this, where you have the percentages displayed, so it kind of makes it more visible, and you have a color code, and you can tell that again always was picked the most, 40%, right, twice as much as the response option never or often, right? So again, you always want to make sure you know what that chart refers to. Oops, can't type. So I'm using the name that I've been using throughout in order to title my chart. And that's how you create pie charts and bar charts based on the mock data set that you created.